Thank you all for coming today. My name is Maxwell Murray. I run a fashion platform that helps creators, artists, and athletes launch fashion brands. And so, it's been a interesting journey. Shadi reached out and said that he wants to run a business workshop for creative professionals. And it means a lot to me. And we talked about different names for the workshop, actually. And it was like, be a business, brand to business stuff was, we were like texting back and forth at the same time. And he texted, be a business. And he said that because of the Jay-Z line, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. And so Jay-Z is a perfect person to look at because he went from being an artist to being an entrepreneur. And so this is what this workshop's going to be about, going from photography as an art to thinking about photography as and fashion design and your creative lane as a business. So we talked about Jay-Z. We talked about how he started as an artist. Obviously, all of you are familiar with him. But now, obviously, he's a billionaire. And he runs multiple different businesses. Roc Nation, started a champagne brand, Rockefeller Records. So I kind of wanted you guys to speak with each other real quick, maybe the 2 or 3 people around you, and let's talk about the difference between how you define an artist and how you define an entrepreneur. Now, there are similarities. You can be both an artist and an entrepreneur, but I'd like you to just take 30, 45 seconds to speak with whoever is next to you and kind of come up with maybe differences that you think is between an artist and an entrepreneur. Go ahead. Difference between an artist and entrepreneur.
I think an entrepreneur figures out how to have multiple streams of income, whereas an artist is like you're only getting paid from art. I think that's actually that's actually I think what it is.
What do you think about with the mindset?
I think mindset-wise, when you're an artist, you only are thinking that you're going to get paid from your design or your art or your song. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're like, okay, I'm going to get paid from the song. I'm going to get paid from like all these different things around it. I think that it's just like a difference in how you're going to be getting sort of paid.
How you're getting paid?
Because when you're an artist, you're like a slave to whoever's the entrepreneur that's above you. Essentially, when you're an entrepreneur, you're not really.
So you just think the difference is the entrepreneur has his eye on the money?
I think the entrepreneur, not necessarily that's not the money, but the entrepreneur is the one that is in control of the money because of the fact that, I guess you could say that. I think so.
You know what I think? From like a broad end, I think an artist creates art because they like to make stuff.
Yeah.
I think an entrepreneur is also an artist in a way, but they create stuff based on what other people want, based on other people's problems. Like if I go and paint something, exactly. I'm not painting based on solving a universal problem, but like the mixture of the two is where entrepreneurs and artists can become the same, is if the artist starts thinking about the problem and solves the problem with the art,
I agree. It's arrogance. Like artists are allowed to be arrogant because they're like, oh, I just can do whatever. But as an entrepreneur, you can be arrogant. But a lot of times, it's not arrogance that you have. It's more just like a blind drive to just like keep going.
Okay.
Being arrogant as an entrepreneur is kind of not.
Yeah, you can't do that. You gotta. I love that. I want to jump off of that point right there because I think you completely killed it with that. The artists, right, based on a lot of the things you guys said, makes art because they love to create. They love the content. Maybe they love the content so much they become poor and they just keep doing it, right? That's perfectly fine. Rob said that they're maybe potentially a little arrogant, right? But they're arrogant because they're creating what they want to create. So realistically, if you're an artist, you're going to create this painting and you're going to do it because that's what you want to do. And that's perfectly fine, right? But then we step over to the entrepreneur, right? And that's when you start thinking about, well, what would other people want? It's when you can't necessarily be arrogant because if you don't think about what other people want, then you won't make the money, right? Because what is an entrepreneur trying to do? An entrepreneur is taking a set of problems and they're saying, well, this is how I'm going to solve your problems. They're looking at a specific person, a specific niche, a specific audience, and they're trying to sit there and they're trying to dissect, well, what can I do to make this person's life a little bit easier? And so people have three main desires, right? There's a bunch of desires that go around this, right? But in reality, everything can possibly get brought back to these three main things. The first thing is wealth. Obviously, we all want to make money. I would never do something where I'm spending money if I didn't think that I was going to get more money back from doing that. Unless I got health, right? Everyone wants to stay alive. Why do you go to the gym, spend that $20 a month so that you can be more healthy? So that is a good payoff. You're not going to make more money from that, but you'll stay alive, so that's a little bit better. The third thing, what do you think the third thing is that people care about? Three main desires: wealth, health. What do you think the third thing is?
I would say social status, like how you're viewed by everyone else.
Perfect.
I was going to say time.
Time? Okay. It's a very important thing.
Financial freedom.
That's wealth.
I'm saying that you gotta have wealth, you gotta have time to actually enjoy your wealth.
I would say that you're wealthy when you have the money and you can enjoy the money, right? And you have time. So, like I said, everything does revolve around these three desires, but there's mad sub-desires around this. The third one is relationships. And so, yeah, relationships in a romantic way, but also relationships in a friend way. Everyone kind of makes these three decisions to their three desires. The root of them are wealth, health, and relationships. So a lot of the problems that you're going to solve, you would solve it by attacking and marketing one of these three things, right? So we have an interesting mix of fashion and photography. So I want to kind of attack that niche, right? For photographers to start thinking about what fashion designers want, right? And so does anyone in here do fashion photography in particular? Yes? All right. Why do you think people book you to shoot their clothes?
Most of the time they have to see a look in my work that they could use to communicate their product.
Okay. So they want to express their ideas. Is there another reason? Is there another problem? What's the desire that they have, though? If they come to you, right, they want to express their work. Let's peel back a few layers on why they're coming to you to express their work. What do you think? Okay. I like that. And then if you were to think about, well, now that they have your photos, right, if I pay you to shoot the photos, that money's gone. So what am I receiving back other than photos? What do you think?
What a client is receiving from me after I deliver the photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like what's their dream outcome? Before Rob made these jeans, he said, all right, well, we gotta shoot these jeans. So we went out into Brooklyn. We went into the park, and he had his friend shoot the jeans, right? We did the photo shoot. Rob has fantastic pictures from the photo shoot. But why did Rob want to have a photo shoot? Rob, why did you decide to have the photo shoot? What is the desire that you were looking for?
I needed to convince my audience and my customers of a specific vision that I had that I couldn't do myself. And I think that's answering that question of what the customer is getting besides the photo is an experience, is a sort of a realization or something that's unique to just that photographer, whatever style that's being shot in.
Facts. And then what?
It's hard to sell a product without a picture of it, without a visual representation.
Absolutely.
So their goal is to
That's-
sell product.
That's the word. That's what I was looking for. The fashion designer goes to the photographer and spends X amount of money on that photo shoot because the fashion designer knows that this could be a result of those fixtures. I spend $100 on a photo shoot and I get $10,000 back when I sell out because of those photos, because you matched his aesthetic, you guys worked together, made each other better, and as a result of that, you created value for Rob. Because even though Rob only paid you $100, Rob got back $1,000, and that is business. A business, people plug into a business with the expectation of getting one of these three back. I would not spend $100 on a photo shoot if I didn't think I was going to get more than $100 back, or if I didn't think I was going to get a relationship for it, wedding photos, right? And so when you are thinking about problems and you're thinking about solutions, you have to also try to think about what is the actual desire that the person that is coming to me for my services are, and how can I maximize that desire in the best way. Can I see this? So, if step one is the problem, Rob has these jeans. He wants them to get shot. His problem is that he spent money to produce these. He needs that money back, right? And so the desired outcome, the vision, is wealth for Rob, right? Obviously, he wants to spread his message, and as a result of spreading his message to 100,000 people, out of that 100,000 people, maybe 1,000 of them can end up buying something, right? And so the thing that Rob is looking for is wealth. Now, let's talk about how we can turn this problem into this solution. Step 3 is the value chain. Right? So a lot of you guys are photographers. What does a fashion designer do before the photo shoot? Can anyone talk about, maybe Rob, you're a fashion designer. What happens before the photo shoot? Start at the idea.
Right. I would say before the photo shoot, I'm going from idea to concept. Meaning I'm laying out exactly how the photo shoot's going to go in my mind and what shots I want and what time of day. Do I want it to be raining? What, like, the visuals, how I want it to look before I get there. And then from there, I just would say that it's like a communication process. So it goes like my visual, got to communicate with the photographer, and then after that, we're going to go into the shoot. So I would say before it happens, it's just like a sort of concept.
What about before the concept?
Before the concept.
Whole fashion process. I want you to break down the fashion process from idea, right? You talked about the concept. I like the word concept because that revolves around brand, right? So Rob has the idea to create a fashion brand. Now he has a brand. Yep. To produce your idea. That's the next step. Thank you. I'm sorry, I have this. Product development. We'll use more space, right? Product development's next. Are you ready for a shoot after you have your product?
Depends.
What else do you need?
I think it depends. Definitely like community, I'd say, is important. Like people to enforce your message as a brand owner. Yeah, I don't really know. Try to learn from you.
I think, yeah.
Money? You need money to do it.
We'll put that, I guess, here, right? Because you need money to make the products too. So we'll put that around brand, right? But I actually would say that it's idea, brand identity, product development. So Rob has the idea to do the fashion brand. Then he creates the business, right? takes out $5,000, puts it into a different account. Then he goes and starts producing his products, and then I think he's ready for the photo shoot, right? I don't think there's anything else. You had your hand raised. You think?
You gotta identify a customer in
Okay.
that process.
Part of the brand, right? What happens after the photo shoot? What's next?
Marketing.
Okay. Yep. You had your hand raised? No. Anything else? What happens after marketing?
Sales.
Okay, so this is the fashion value chain, right? This is all there is. I mean, there could be more things, but maybe we're missing it. You have your idea to start your brand. Rob named his brand after himself, Robinson Brown. Then he went and he made these jeans, right? After he made these jeans, he had his photo shoot to shoot the jeans. I was part of that. It's a nice photo shoot. And then, where'd you put the pictures?
My website,
Okay.
Instagram, social media, billboards, like wherever I could.
Right bigger? My bad. Okay, let's talk about the photo shoot. What does a photographer do with the designer at the photo shoot? Let's like jump into the photo shoot and say, other than pointing and shooting, what else is there?
You probably need an equipment or maybe a studio, rent out the equipment. You know, if they want to go with like a fisheye lens and like, I don't know, like a Y2K type of look, then that might be like the photo shoot itself might have a specific marketing strategy behind it, or like I don't know how to explain it. Like they might be going after a certain trend.
Absolutely.
So, or like I said,
What else?
Models.
Excuse me?
Models.
Yup. What else?
Post-production.
Post-production, so editing.
Yeah,
And we'll put that in the middle of these two. Anything else you can think of? Stylist, right? Maybe a stylist. I mean, the designer can be the stylist, but maybe the stylist. All right, let's see. Venue, equipment, models, stylists. What else? Is there anything else? What else? What other things do photographers? Maybe there's a creative director there potentially, right? That has to do with the concept. Makeup artist. Great. Anything else? All right, cool. Now, let's talk about marketing, right? You said you post things on social media, right? You mentioned editing. What happens after the shoot? Let's get into going from the actual photo shoot till after the photo shoot.
so everything on the hard drive.
Okay. Storage.
You have to listen exactly to what they want, how they want their images edited.
Yeah, that's super important.
You don't want to give them what you want, you gotta give them what they want.
What they want. Exactly.
I was going to say that as well. I think the most important part is the marketing, like, and figuring out exactly who you're trying to tailor your product or your idea towards. That's pretty much everything.
Okay, so I'd say there's photos, right? Part of it, I'd say you also made a video. There's different social media platforms, right? There's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's Twitter. All of these platforms are different, right? So they require a different set of maybe value or a different set of ways that you know what I mean? I'm not going to dress like this on Instagram. Maybe I have a headshot with the dress shirt on LinkedIn, but maybe I have a t-shirt on, my earrings in on Instagram. On Tinder, maybe I don't have a shirt on. So you obviously have to present your stuff differently, right? And what's the goal of marketing? Why do you market?
Pulling your consumer.
Excuse me?
Pulling your consumer.
Okay. Cool.
I was gonna say grab attention.
Grab attention.
ROI.
Excuse me?
ROI.
Return on investment. Absolutely.
To make the people who want to see your stuff see your stuff.
Absolutely.
Just to drive sales really, right, and hopefully build relationships in the process.
Yeah, I would say I seen this post today on the way here, and it was like an ad for another company, and they were like, marketing is asking her on the date, branding is getting her to say yes. Thought that was interesting, right? But the goal of marketing is attention. So the goal of the photo shoot is aesthetic, right? Is there another word that could be better for that? Maybe, maybe not. Display. We'll use that. Display, aesthetic, and then why do you have a website? Money. Okay, so let's think about this. So this is the value chain, right? So before this photo shoot and after this photo shoot, these are the things that happen, right? And so as the photographer that is doing more than the art of shooting the pictures, how else could you, as an entrepreneur, add value in this value chain?
I guess
got the cat.
as a photographer would be worth it to to someone who's like maybe starting off, instead of just being like, hey, I'll shoot this one photo shoot, kind of set something up so we'll have reoccurring photo shoots, and helping them develop an identity throughout.
Okay.
If they're just starting out, I mean, if they're already established, that's a different story. But you can kind of work through the process and be a bigger part of that brand. If that makes sense.
How else? Let's just, for this conversation, remove yourself from being a photographer and think of yourself as a business that is helping the artist display, get attention, and make money.
I would see what work they've done already.
What work who's done?
The artist or the brand.
What would that do?
It would give you insight of what you can add to them and
Exactly.
what you can give to them.
So how could you add more than pointing and shooting?
Word of mouth.
Okay, so getting more attention on them? Okay, so you go and you start telling people about what their brand is? Could you throw an event for them?
I could.
Okay. That'll be kind of cool, right? How else?
Helping them find ways to expand their services if they're a designer. Instead of just doing their own designs, maybe they could expand by offering tailoring services or styling services.
Okay.
So finding ways to have multiple sources of income.
Perfect. Anyone else? Okay, so Alex Hormozi created something called the value equation. I think this is a very interesting concept, right? Dream outcome times likelihood of achievement divided by time times effort and sacrifice. This equals value. That's step 4. Okay, so let's recap a little bit. Rob, what was the dream outcome?
For me, it was to become a successful designer and have a successful, I guess, launch of those jeans.
And so that involves display, attention, and money, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Rob wants to have his art displayed the best way with a lot of attention, and he wants to make money from it. So his dream outcome is a successful fashion brand, right? If he works with you, what is the likelihood of that happening? 100%? Why?
I'm confident. That's what they say.
Sweet. I want to go with the 100%. Why would it be 100%? How could Rob get to his dream outcome 100% of the time by working with you?
If I had to spend the time, effort,
Okay, keep going.
I have a quality service, communicating well.
Look at this. Look at the value equation. How could you make it certain that he has a successful fashion brand?
Follow the formula, follow the chain.
All right, go ahead.
One thing that I'm thinking about is sort of in relation to the second and third goals that everyone has, health and relationships. I think it's easy to maybe overlook those when you're coming to it as a business, but when you consider the whole equation, if you as a business person can give the artist, the client, an experience that's less effortful or creates less sacrifice, and maybe you really, maybe you cost more, but they know that when they come in, like, you are prepared to go, there's going to be no issues, you are in your space, you have your vision ready, your equipment's good, then you're reducing the difficulty of it and increasing the overall value.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely. A lot of people can be worried about the top of the equation, but in reality, the best companies worry about the bottom of the equation. Amazon. I order a package. I order a book. It gets here in one day, and I don't have to do anything but click a button. Everything else is done for me, therefore the likelihood of achievement is 100%. I'm going to get that book. I'm going to get it fast, and I'm going to do it in my couch. Clicking the button. Okay, so if Rob, how could you as a photographer save Rob time, effort, or sacrifice?
This is just with prevalent times, but let's say going to AI art.
Okay.
That's less effort for the photographer and Rob.
Yeah.
And I can get it out quick with the time because AI is doing it.
Quick. Speed. Right? Rob shot. We don't have to wait for the photographer. The edits are done in 2 days. Would you pay more for that?
Absolutely.
Okay. What else?
Like as a photographer, if you can work on all those things and click off as many of those boxes as possible, in the process you add more value. Besides taking the photos, you can turn it around quickly, you can offer different packets or junkets or whatever information that you can make. So photos, some video, some audio, also like ways that you can position it on a website or marketing,
Yep.
or putting it with ads or content, tying it with, say, a mail service or something like that, where it's outbound mailing efforts and things like that. So tying a lot of those different pieces, adding it into your package. So when you speak with them, you're saying, hey, I can help you out with getting I can help you out with makeup. I have a stylist that I work with all the time. I know models. I have all the equipment. I have a venue and a space already available. So if you want to do it that way, I know locations. I have different areas that I spotted out already that I know that with your brand, if I bring it to here and take it to these places, I have different shots and looks that you can achieve. And then you present that to them, so that presents your 100% likeliness of getting it because you're bringing one to the table that they're actually really looking for than just a photographer.
Would you say yes to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would too. You just told me, oh, I got the venue, I got the equipment, I got the models, I got the stylists, I got the makeup artist, I got the creative director. We know exactly what we want. After you're done with the shoot, I can get you 10 photos for Instagram. I can make you 3 TikToks. I can make you even a YouTube video. I can bring my video friend. He can shoot the YouTube video. We'll edit the video. We'll put captions on it. And I'll put all this stuff on your website. You know what? Maybe even I will make you the website. Could you charge more for that? That's creating value. That's what this is about. It's about how many problems can I solve for you in exchange for money that's going to make both of us richer. That's your product, right? That's your product, that's your service, that's what you're selling. That's bringing them from an old world, not having a successful fashion brand, to having a successful fashion brand. And that's what you guys can do as photographers, as artists, as entrepreneurs. Thanks. Any questions?